I hereby convene this meeting of the Water Operations Committee of the Board of Directors of the Lower Colorado River Authority. Today's Wednesday, February 24th, 2021, and the time is
2:24.
2:24 p.m. A quorum is present, and the General Counsel will record each committee member who is in attendance. So at this time, take any comments from the public. Tom, do we have anybody on the phone?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think we have one commenter. Mr. Lindsay, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, I can't talk today. Please proceed. Mr. Lindsay?
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I muted my computer like y'all asked me.
Okay, thank you.
I can't hear what's going on in the meeting.
You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Dave Lindsay from Central Texas Water Coalition. We have provided written comments, which I hope you have had a chance to review. We appreciated that LCRA had included the 2020 Water Management Plan and a presentation on today's agenda. And we are disappointed that the item has been pulled, particularly given its relevance to the current recent major electricity and water infrastructure issues that have resulted from the extended extreme cold weather conditions. I do want to thank you for meeting today during these trying times and hearing my comments. It has been widely reported that these major electricity and water infrastructure issues resulted from errors in planning and risk management. And we believe that there are parallel concerns that need to be seriously considered with our water supply from the Highland Lakes. 2020 Water Management Plan, while an improvement from earlier plans, still includes inherent risk and risk management issues that should be addressed and mitigated in a timely manner. Specifically, some of the major risk management issues include the following: significant overdrafting of LCRA stored and storable water supply via very substantial interruptible irrigation and unexpectedly large environmental release requirements in the Water Management Plan, neither of which are formally included in LCRA's water availability calculations for firm water. We believe this is risky, as LCRA's firm yield approach versus safe yield assumes that the lakes can be emptied if needed, and the overdrafting can result in rapid drawdown of the lakes. This drawdown could accelerate if the less severe drought condition rules from the 2020 Water Management Plan do not kick in on March 1. The overdrafting issue is compounded by the shocking systemic decline in inflows that replenish the stored water and the extraordinarily high population and business growth that results in increasing municipal and business firm water demands of the water supply. Collectively, these factors pose a threat that the water supply in the Highland Lakes can be rapidly drawn down, which leaves the region vulnerable to prolonged periods of drought that could quickly lead to unexpected curtailment of firm customers. This is more concerning following our state climatologist, Dr. John Nielsen Gammon's warnings of the increased possibility of extended mega droughts. Better risk management practices and policies that are more protective are needed to adequately prepare for harsh, long-lasting weather events. An extended continuation of the current drought could threaten the water supply and the electricity generation system, which requires water for operations. We urge the LCRA board to accept its very important and difficult responsibilities and be robustly proactive in addressing these critical risk management and policy issues to assure a sustainable water supply. I am ready and happy to answer any questions you may have today, and CTWC would appreciate the opportunity for a dialogue to work on developing these issues and effective solutions. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments, Dave. Do we have anybody else that is scheduled to speak?
I think that's it, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you.
Please close the line for the commenters, please.
As I mentioned to the board a moment ago, we will do this briefing again in the very near future. Our focus today and because the water management plan is critically important and it's a good update for all of us to know what's going on. But since our focus today was the events of last week, we wanted to spend the majority of our time allocated on the events of last week. So we'll come back to that, and I appreciate Mr. Lindsay's comments and what he had to say.
All right, I think our next item for action is to approve the committee meeting minutes. Do we have a motion? All right. Any comments on the minutes? All in favor indicate aye. Or raise your hand. Aye.
Aye, Nancy.
All right. No, minute reading motion passes. I think our next item is John Hoffman, isn't it? For John, could you give
Kelly.
us a water update?
I think we're going to go with me, Director Martine.
Sir?
I think we're going to go with me in the basin update.
Oh, okay.
John Hoffman wannabe with too much hair.
Bless his heart.
You-
So I'm going to give you a kind of walk through the update real quick. Looking at the drought monitor. Looking at the drought monitor, you can see kind of the western part of the state still sits in pretty severe drought conditions. As of, I guess, last week, about 73% of the state was abnormally dry or in drought conditions. But if we compare that to 3 months ago, it was about 97% of the state. So things have actually improved a little bit in that arena over the winter, fall and winter. This is a close-up of our basin. You'll see kind of in the Llano, Mason, McCullough, Gillespie, kind of Blanco County areas, there's some drought, moderate drought, which is kind of the first level of drought within our drought index. And then there's a lot of the yellow, which is abnormally dry, not quite drought conditions yet, but drying out. I suspect maybe this might change a little bit after the snow and things melt from last week and we get an update this week. This may have improved. Some of the yellow may have improved a little bit. Here's inflows to the Highland Lakes. Last month we had 18,241 acre feet flow into the Highland Lakes, which is about 28% or 29% of the long-term average for January. Looking at Buchanan and Travis and combined storage projections, it's been pretty flat, interestingly, since November across the combined storage, and pretty flat as our projection goes into March. We expect to be somewhere at or just below 1.5 million acre feet, and I think John's going to give you a little bit of update as to what that means in terms of a March 1st decision date on water for interruptible. Lake Travis also has been kind of humming along pretty level, and it looks to be pretty stable in the forecast until April or so time frame. Looking at Lake Buchanan, as we go through into the situation we're in from a water supply now, we're going to start drawing a little heavier on Buchanan than we have been early in the process of water supply. So that's kind of why the projection shows a little bit steeper decline in Lake Buchanan, but it's still sitting above its average, long-term average for February. And then this kind of shows the comparisons to where we were last February. Storage is about 242,000 acre feet lower than it was last year. And just to kind of give you a brief update in case you didn't see it in our board memo, Bob's kind of forecasting for the La Nina to start weakening. And the
Yes, ma'am.
Climate Prediction Center is forecasting kind of
I can hear him. Yeah.
is forecasting a dissipation altogether of La Nina by April, and then we expect to move into kind of an ENSO neutral condition in the late spring through the summer. So that's it for kind of the quick roll through of this. Any questions for me? All right, thank you.
Okay, so part of what we were going to talk about in our water management plan discussion that we'll talk about when we pick that up is how the water management plan actually works and the mechanisms that read things like the combined storage and the inflows that Kelly was just talking about. And on our evaluation dates for first crop and second crop, what those look like from a water availability standpoint for agriculture. So the quick version of this is Kelly showed you that projection line for combined storage, and right now it's projecting to be at 1.49 million acre feet of combined storage. So what that means is under the water management plan, when we're below 1.5 million acre feet, we look at inflows as well. We look at December, January, and February inflows. I mentioned this when we met in January. So right now we're looking at 28% or whatever of inflows coming in for the month of January. If we add up February and January, add up the inflows that we've had coming through those months, it looks like right now that our inflows will add up to less than 50,000 acre feet combined, which means under the water management plan we will be in less severe drought category. If we're in less severe drought water supply condition, the amount of water available for agriculture based off that reading on March the 1st will be a 14% reduction of water availability of interruptible stored water for ag. So they will be reduced about 24,000 acre feet from a normal full allocation under the water management plan. A lot can happen between now and then, and we're just right now today just below 50,000 acre feet of combined storage. But as the snow's melting and everything's running in, it's moving. So we're right on the bubble between 1.49 and 1.5 million acre feet. And we need to see we would need to see over 18,000 acre feet of inflows in the month of February for our inflows to be more than 50,000 acre feet. And right now it doesn't look like we're going to do that. So if I have to guess today what we're going to see in 5 days, I'm going to say that we're going to be below 1.5 million acre feet. Our inflows are going to add up for December, January, and February are going to add up to less than 50,000 acre feet. We will be under less severe drought water supply condition, and there will be some level of curtailment. Right now we're thinking it's going to be in the neighborhood of a 14% reduction. Any questions?
Thanks, John.
Yes, sir.
I think that covers everything we were going to do during this. So
Yes, sir.
that will conclude the Water Operations Committee meeting at 2:37.